Hi, I'm Raven. I own Skyline Charters, the helicopter business I built from scratch after my family told me it was a stupid pipe dream. 5 years and 6 helicopters later, I'm still waiting for them to admit they were wrong. Not holding my breath, though. The fancy envelope with my sister's wedding invitation sat on my desk for 3 days before I finally opened it. Diane and I used to be close, but ever since I moved away from my parents' suffocating grip, our calls had dwindled to birthday texts and awkward holiday greetings. You gonna RSVP to that thing or what? Carter dropped into the chair across from my desk, feet propped up as usual. I don't know. It's gonna be a whole production with my folks. When was the last time you even saw them? 2 years ago. Dad criticized my haircut and Mom asked when I was going to get a real job. Mind you, I was paying for dinner with my fake job money. Look, Raven, she's your sister. You'll regret not going. I sighed and picked up my phone. Fine, but you owe me drinks for a month. I called Diane instead of just texting back the RSVP card. She squealed when she heard my voice. You're coming, right? Please say yes. Yeah, I'll be there. Congrats on finding someone who can put up with you. Jake is amazing. You'll love him. And, there's something else. That tone. I knew that tone. What is it? So, since you have those helicopters and all, Mom and Dad thought it would be amazing if they want me to provide a free helicopter for your wedding, don't they? Silence. Then, it would be so special, Raven. Like a grand entrance for the bride. Did they put you up to this? No? Well, sort of. Mom mentioned it first, but I do think it would be amazing. I rubbed my temples. Diane, those helicopters are my business, not party favors. But we're family. Family who haven't spoken to me in 2 years except to ask for free stuff. That's not fair. And Dad said you'd act like this. Like what? A business owner? Like someone who doesn't care about family. There it was. The guilt trip. Classic Margaret and Richard technique, now performed by their star pupil. I'll think about it, I muttered, knowing I'd already lost. 2 weeks later, I pulled into the restaurant parking lot for the pre-wedding family dinner. My stomach churned as I spotted my father's Lexus. Carter had texted me a pep talk. Remember, you're successful despite them, not because of them. I checked my reflection in the rearview mirror and rehearsed my smile. 5 minutes passed before I could make myself open the car door. The restaurant's warm lights seemed to mock the cold reunion waiting inside. As I reached for the door handle, I saw them through the window. Mom adjusting Diane's hair, Dad already scanning the entrance with that perpetually disappointed look. Time to face the music, and the helicopter-sized elephant in the room. I pushed open the restaurant door and plastered on my fakest smile. There she is, the helicopter queen herself. Dad rose from his seat, arms outstretched like we were the perfect family. Hi, everyone. I hugged Diane first, then nodded at the unfamiliar man beside her. You must be Jake, the infamous Raven. Finally nice to meet you. His handshake was firm, his smile seemed genuine. We saved you a seat right between me and your father. Mom patted the chair, her diamond bracelet catching the light, the one she'd guilted me into buying last Christmas. As soon as I sat down, Dad launched into his businessman routine. So, helicopter business still staying afloat? Aviation's a tough industry. We're doing great, actually. Just landed a contract with... That's nice, dear. Mom cut me off. Diane, show your sister the venue photos. Diane slid her phone across the table. The ceremony's on this hill overlooking the valley. Wouldn't it be amazing if I arrived in a helicopter? Like a movie star? Speaking of which, Dad leaned in, lowering his voice. We've been telling everyone about your grand gesture. The whole family is buzzing about it. I nearly choked on my water. What grand gesture? The helicopter, of course, for your sister's entrance. Mom squeezed my arm. Such a generous wedding present. The memory hit me like a brick. My college graduation, when they'd promised to help with my first helicopter down payment, then backed out last minute to renovate their kitchen instead. I never agreed to that. A helicopter rental costs thousands, plus pilot fees and... But you own the company. Dad's voice rose slightly. It's not like it costs you anything. That's not how businesses work. Diane's eyes darted between us. I told them it might be too much to ask, but Mom said, I said family supports family. Mom shot Diane a look. Something your sister seems to have forgotten. I've supported this family plenty. I set down my fork. Remember when I covered Dad's gambling debt after Vegas? The table went silent. Jake shifted uncomfortably. That was a business investment. Dad's face reddened. That you never paid back. A woman with a clipboard approached our table. Excuse me, I'm Vanessa, the wedding planner. I just need to confirm some timeline details. Perfect timing, Dad said. We were just discussing Raven's helicopter contribution, which isn't happening unless it's paid for like any other client. I stood my ground. Dad leaned across the table. After everything we've done for you? Like what? Telling me my business would fail? Borrowing money you never returned? You ungrateful little... His hand moved so fast I barely saw it coming. The slap echoed through the restaurant. My cheek burned. Diane gasped. Jake stared at his plate. Mom just sighed like I'd provoked it. I grabbed my purse and stood. Congratulations on the wedding. Send me an invoice if you want to rent a helicopter. Outside, tears stung my eyes as Vanessa followed me. Are you okay? That was completely out of line. I'm fine. Just family drama. Listen, I've seen families like yours before. If you need anything... She slipped me her card. In my car, I called Carter. How'd it go? About as well as a helicopter crash. My dad hit me. What the hell? Are you okay? No, but I'm done letting them use me. I gripped the steering wheel. I think it's time they learned who they're really dealing with. What are you thinking? I'm thinking we need a plan. A big one. The next morning, Carter and I sat in my office surrounded by laptops and coffee cups. Got something. Your folks refinanced their house 3 times in the last 2 years. Carter turned his screen toward me. And there's a lien against your dad's business. So they're broke? I scrolled through the public records. Not just broke. Drowning. Check your sister's social media. Diane's Instagram showed her flashing a dream house down payment with a caption thanking her amazing parents for their generosity. They didn't have that kind of money to give her. Exactly. And look at this. Carter pulled up a loan application with Jake and Diane's signatures. They borrowed 60 grand from the kids. My phone buzzed, Vanessa calling. You won't believe what I just heard. Your parents are telling all the vendors that you're covering extra costs as your sisterly contribution. They what? They've been name-dropping Skyline Charters everywhere. Even promised the bridal party a helicopter photo shoot. I slammed my fist on the desk. That's it. I'm calling them out. Wait. Carter grabbed my arm. Don't show your cards yet. Play along, then strike when they least expect it. 2 hours later, I called my parents. Raven, sweetheart, we're sorry about yesterday. Mom's voice dripped with fake sweetness. Me too. I've been thinking, you're right. Family first. I'll provide the helicopter. Dad grabbed the phone. That's my girl. I knew you'd come around. Just send me the details. I want to make it special for Diane. Next, I called Vanessa. I need your help. Can you record my parents if they say anything about using me or my business? Already on it. They cornered me this morning bragging about how they handled you. Perfect. There's more. Can you get me 15 minutes alone with Diane and Jake? The meeting with my sister and her fiancé was tense at first. I can't believe you're going through with this after Dad hit you. Diane fiddled with her engagement ring. About that, did you know they borrowed $60,000 from you while they're basically bankrupt? Jake's head snapped up. What? I showed them the documents. They've been lying to everyone. That gift for your down payment? It was your own money. But they said it was from their investments. Diane's voice trailed off. There are no investments, just debt. And they're using your wedding to save face. Jake paced the room. What do we do? The wedding's in 2 days. I have a plan, but I need you to trust me. I outlined everything. Instead of a helicopter, what if I arranged for a vintage Rolls-Royce? More elegant, more you. Diane wiped away tears. They've been doing this our whole lives, haven't they? Using us? Yes. But after Saturday, never again. The night before the wedding, everything was set. Vanessa had collected 5 recordings of my parents bragging about manipulating me. The rolls was prepped with just married decorations. My presentation was loaded with financial records showing exactly how they'd been using everyone. "You ready for tomorrow?" Carter asked as we did a final check. "Born ready. It's about time they faced consequences." The wedding morning arrived with a flurry of texts from Mom demanding to know when my helicopter would arrive. "Just checking the final arrangements for Diane's grand entrance," she wrote. I smiled at my phone. Everything's taken care of. At the venue, I spotted Dad cornering the photographer near the bar. "My daughter's helicopter company is providing today's aerial shots. Make sure you capture it all. We have connections in the aviation industry." He didn't notice me approaching. Between us, we practically forced her to contribute. She owes us after all the opportunities we've given her. Vanessa appeared at my side, phone recording in her jacket pocket. "Got it," she whispered. "Oh, Richard, there you are," Vanessa called out loudly. "Quick question about the helicopter entrance?" Dad straightened his tie. "Yes, my daughter's providing that. And she's covering all costs as a gift, correct? I heard you telling the caterer she's paying their bill too?" "Of course she is. Least she can do considering we funded her little business in the first place," he chuckled. "Between us, she'd be nothing without our support." Vanessa nodded sympathetically. "Must be nice having such a successful daughter to bankroll things. She doesn't know half the bills I've put in her name, but what's family for, right?" My blood boiled as Vanessa discreetly ended the recording and winked at me. The ceremony went perfectly. Diane arrived in the vintage Rolls-Royce, looking stunned when she saw Mom and Dad's furious faces. But they couldn't cause a scene in front of 200 guests. During the reception, after dinner, I approached the DJ and took the microphone. "I'd like to make a special toast to my sister and her new husband." The room quieted. "But first, I want to clear up some confusion about today's festivities." I clicked a remote, and the projector screen lowered. "Many of you were told I'd be providing helicopter services today. Instead, I chose something more elegant for Diane. What you don't know is why." The first recording played. Dad's voice crystal clear. "We practically forced her to contribute. She owes us." Gasps rippled through the crowd. "For years, my parents have used me financially while claiming they supported my little hobby business." I clicked to the loan documents. "They've borrowed money from Diane and Jake under false pretenses, while taking credit for giving them a down payment with their own money." Mom stood up. "This is ridiculous! Richard, stop her!" Dad charged toward me, but Jake stepped between us. "Is it true?" Jake demanded. "Did you steal from us to look good?" Diane joined him. "All those times you criticized Raven while taking her money?" The final recording played. Dad admitting to putting bills in my name without my knowledge. Uncle Bob stood up. "Richard, you borrowed 15 grand from me claiming business troubles. Was that a lie too?" The room erupted. Mom and Dad frantically tried to explain, but the evidence was irrefutable. 3 months later, Diane and Jake moved across the country, away from Mom and Dad's influence. My parents faced bankruptcy after relatives demanded repayment of loans. Their social invitations dried up completely. Diane called weekly now. Starting over is hard, but it's worth it. Meanwhile, Skyline Charters expanded into a new market luxury wedding transportation, with Vanessa as our exclusive wedding coordinator. "To freedom," Carter raised his glass as we celebrated our newest helicopter. "And to family," I added. "The ones we choose." What would you have done in Raven's position? Was she right to publicly expose her parents at her sister's wedding? Or should she have handled things privately to avoid creating drama on Diane's special day? Some might say the public humiliation was justified after years of manipulation, while others might argue family matters should stay behind closed doors. Share your thoughts in the comments. Would you have gone through with the public exposure or found another way to stand up for yourself? If you enjoyed this revenge story of family justice, hit that like button and subscribe for more compelling stories that make you think. Your support helps our channel grow, and I'd love to hear what kind of stories you want to see next.